What's up, B2? Capital G here. Got a very strange duel for you guys to check out. I feel like this should be the guide on how to throw a duel away because a player is going to jump out to a fairly early lead in this duel, and then the momentum just kind of slips away and it all just kind of disappears and backfires. And then I think maybe a little bit of tilt sets in, and once that happens, you're basically just in your own head, and I feel like mentally you've already lost the duel. So let's look at the decks we have here. We have Goki at the bottom. It is a Metaphors version of Goki. That's why he's got the painful decision and whatnot. And then he's playing against Paleo Frogs. Interesting enough, he decided to run Mask Chameleon. Mask Chameleon, in my opinion, did get a little better. Not just because of the Gokis and because of a lot of them having 0 defense, but it got better because obviously Link monsters don't have levels. So, I mean, it's less likely that you will normal summon this and you'll have to worry about having a bunch of big level monsters on the field when you can convert those high level monsters into Link monsters. And it looks like he should have an advantage because this guy opens with double Ash, which obviously you don't want. But I will say this, opening with a Stormy Mirror Force and a Solemn is not bad, because if your opponent does make something like Trigate and they attack with a big Link field, you can obviously you can just like use the Mirror Force and then Solemn them. So that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and roll it. Not exactly sure how he's going to open. Opens with Painful Decision and then Reinforcements of the Army. Summons Goplex with summons Goplex with special summons. I couldn't get my words there. He's gonna get 2 searches from his 2 Gokis, including a rematch, and I think Osode gives him another search, and then he dumps Moon Mirror Shield in the graveyard to summon his level 1 Goki. Summons Headbat, and at this point I was like, all right, this is looking pretty decent. He has like 5 monsters on board. I think he's trading everything in for Skull D. I don't know if I like that. I feel like sometimes people get enamored with Skull D. It doesn't like. I feel like it really doesn't help you progress your game state with Goki. So, I mean, it looks really nice on paper. I probably would have ashed that, but he's going to hold those ashes, and he's going to get more searches, which is nice, okay. But I'd rather have something like Master Ogre, but that's kind of why I don't like Asode, but, you know, some people disagree. He goes for Omega. Sets the pendulum scales. He's going to pop one to get counter, and this is a pretty good turn 1 field. Like he has an Omega which can get rid of somebody, or it can get rid of a card in his opponent's hand. Nothing is banished yet, so that's kind of irrelevant. And then he has a Skull D. I feel like Skull D is really good, but not when going first. I feel like Skull D is one of those cards that like fixes your hand so you can kill your opponent. I don't really get how you make it first, and I don't know. I feel like it just doesn't do anything there. So his opponent just kind of T-sets, and he does not use the Omega, which is, that was the first thing that just, I don't know, it felt weird. Like usually before your opponent wants to end phase, you just Omega them. If nothing else, just get a card out of their hand to see what they're playing, get some information or something. Gets the Horn of Heaven. He's going to go for Skull Deed's special summon effect, I believe. He activates Rematch again, which I think is unnecessary unless he's going to go for like Borload. Goes into another Asode. Okay, so she should add a Warrior to his hand. And he's going to get Deathmatch. He's going to get a couple more searches. He's going to use Headbat. And I believe Dynamistus is going to banish his copy of Skull Deed. Now he goes into, is that the yeah, that was the Arcana Link monster, which you basically, that card just got announced, and I was wondering what archetype was going to make it. This is interesting. So let's see what happens here. Now he just has the Omega on field. He activates the Goki Deathmatch, and now he just gets wrecked by the Mirror Force. He cannot activate Omega because his opponent discarded everything in his hand, let alone the fact that you can't use it in the battle phase. And look at this. His opponent's able to make the totally awesome, and I felt like at this point he was just tilted. He top decks, and he could not use that Horn of Heaven, by the way, either. Now he gets a Substitute. That is not Substitute. He gets a copy of Dupe Frog, and his opponent ends up rage quitting. How could a duel go so wrong so quickly? Let me explain. He made so many unnecessary monsters that didn't really progress. Like making the second Asode, what did that do? That didn't do anything for him. Making the original Skull Deed was dumb because it just like sat on the field after it activated its first effect and did nothing. And even making the Omega, if you're not going to use it, then you're basically going to lose it. So yeah, that was a demonstration on how to just make poor decision after poor decision after poor decision. And honestly, all the Paleo guy had to do was just kind of use his traps. He didn't even really have to lean on the Ash Blossoms at all. But yeah, very interesting duel that shows you Goki should probably just stick to making Goki cards. I mean, if he would have went for Master Ogre, maybe he would have gotten wrecked by Solemn Strike, but feel like he would have been in a better position. He wouldn't have expended all his cards on a Skull Deep that didn't do anything. Also, this is why I say that Goki need a card that can lock out their opponent's battle phase, because if their opponent has like a battle trap and a strike, that's really difficult for most decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! To deal with unless they have something like Ancient Gear, you know, those monsters that kind of lock out the battle phase. I feel like this card should have done that. I feel like Deathmatch should have done that, and Deathmatch is kind of just shitty. But anyways, I'm talking about something completely different now. Whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. Turn on that notification bell for daily videos.